Have you ever really paused to consider the sheer scale of energy the AI revolution is going to demand?
It's kind of mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah, we're talking gigawatts just for the data centers alone.
Mhm.
And, well, that number is just escalating like crazy.
It really is.
Yeah.
So the big question becomes, where is all this power actually going to come from?
Exactly. And maybe even more critically, who's going to control it? Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into AI's energy future, solar dominance and geopolitical race.
We've got some really insightful material here.
We do. And our mission today is basically to unpack why solar is so rapidly emerging as the key energy source for AI.
And also the high-stakes global competition that's heating up behind it.
Absolutely. So as we move through our deep dive today, you'll uncover the maybe surprising reasons solar looks set to win.
We'll also look at the strategic plays, the advantages, the vulnerabilities of key players like China and the U.S.
And why this whole energy race is, well, just as vital as the chip race in shaping what comes next with AI.
Right. It's critical.
Okay, let's dig in. So right now, today, when we talk about these AI data centers, especially the huge ones, right? The hyperscalers.
Yeah, the multi-gigawatt operations.
They largely rely on natural gas. That's still the default, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And a key insight here is why. Why gas?
Okay.
Mostly about speed, and
Yeah.
the fact that the infrastructure is already there.
Okay. So pipelines, power plants, they're in place.
Exactly, which makes it incredibly fast to deploy and get those massive compute loads online quickly.
Right. Makes sense.
What?
But looking longer term, AI's energy appetite is just huge. It's insatiable. Natural gas starts to look, well, limited.
Definitely. You're talking high costs, relatively speaking.
And surprisingly, maybe slow learning curves for the turbines themselves.
That's a big part of it. They just don't get cheaper or more efficient at that kind of exponential rate AI seems to demand.
So what's the fundamental problem there? Why isn't it sustainable for AI's future growth?
Well, it really comes down to scaling. Manufacturing gas turbines is relatively slow. It's capital intensive.
And this raises that crucial question. If gas has these long-term limits, what's the alternative? What can scale at AI speed?
And that's the cue for solar, I take it.
That's exactly where solar steps onto this yeah. It's emerging as the superior alternative, precisely because it's one of the easiest things to manufacture at massive scale.
Easier than turbines.
Much easier. The production process is incredibly straightforward compared to complex machinery like turbines. And that means costs can plummet as manufacturing ramps up.
Right. And this next point, I think, is really, really significant. Solar has this thing called a learning rate.
The learning rate.
It's 43%, which means...
What exactly?
It means for every doubling of production capacity globally, the cost drops by nearly half, 43% reduction.
Almost half. Just think about that exponential curve downwards compared to the slow grind of gas turbines getting maybe slightly better.
Exactly. Gas faces turbine bottlenecks, financing uncertainties. Solar just keeps getting cheaper, faster.
So strategically, what does that really mean? Beyond just the cost savings, for who wins this energy race?
Oh, it's a total paradigm shift. It means investing early, even if it seems inefficient at first, can create an almost unbeatable lead down the road.
Like building the railroad while others are still using horses.
Precisely. The future just looks fundamentally different because you made that exponential leap. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this growth leads to some really bold predictions.
Okay, like what?
The expectation, according to Casey here, is that by 2027, so pretty soon, most new data centers will be primarily solar-powered.
Primarily solar, with gas just filling gaps.
Yeah, gas playing a backup or a supplementary role. And then looking out to the 2030s, the prediction is that new AI energy loads will be overwhelmingly solar.
Wow. That really is a monumental shift in just a few years.
It is.
But, okay, practical question. With renewables, especially solar, there's always the intermittency issue, isn't there? What happens when the sun goes down?
All right, the classic problem.
This is where concepts like synthetic fuels come in, right? To bridge that gap.
Exactly. Casey's company, Terraform Industries, is actually working on this. The core idea is simple. Convert excess electricity.
From cheap solar during the day.
Right. Convert that into transportable, storable energy, like a fuel. This is crucial because electricity, it's only about a third of our total energy use.
Oh, interesting point.
Yeah. So synthetic fuels can help meet that broader energy demand, heating, transport industry that electricity alone struggles with. ensuring reliability 24/7.
Okay, so the technical solutions like solar plus maybe synthetic fuels or batteries seem to be emerging for AI's power needs. But the source suggests this isn't just an engineering puzzle.
Oh, absolutely not. We're talking about a massive geopolitical race here. The source argues it's just as vital as the race for the most advanced AI chips.
As vital as the chip race. Okay, so how are the key players positioned? Let's start with China.
All right, China. They hold some significant strengths. The big one is solar panel production. They outproduce the US by something like 20 times.
Point.
Yeah. Plus, they dominate in batteries and just general manufacturing capacity.
Now, the source makes this kind of provocative claim about China's overcapacity in solar, that they accidentally got it right. That sounds odd. What's the thinking there?
It is intriguing, isn't it? The idea is that while, Western economies were maybe focused on immediate ROI, quarterly profits, China just flooded the global market with cheap solar panels. It looked like waste or overproduction to many analysts at the time.
Okay.
But now, that perceived overcapacity is becoming the absolute foundation for future industrial growth because it provides the cheapest energy on the planet. It's a strategic advantage, whether fully intended from day one or not.
A sort of accidental masterstroke.
No.
But they have weaknesses too, right?
They do. China isn't without vulnerabilities. Geopolitically, it's surrounded by neighbors who aren't always friendly.
Right.
It's heavily dependent on imported oil, which is a major strategic weakness. And its geography, for things like energy transmission across vast distances, presents real constraints.
Okay, so flip side. The U.S., we lag way behind in solar panel manufacturing right now.
We do.
But the U.S. has its own set of advantages, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Very different strengths. You've got oceans, east and west, a huge defensive advantage.
Sure.
Abundant domestic energy resources, still lots of cheap natural gas, oil. World-class automation capabilities, which could be key for manufacturing. And crucially, deep liquid capital markets to fund big projects.
It's a different kind of power base.
It is. And while the U.S. is behind in current solar capacity, the source points out it's maybe only about 5 years behind China in terms of deployment.
5 years. That doesn't sound insurmountable.
Well, the implication is no, not if there's the will. The source suggests that with, and they use this phrase, World War II level urgency,
Wow.
America could rapidly scale up domestic solar factories and close that manufacturing gap relatively quickly. It's framed as a call to action, really.
Okay, but even with that urgency, achieving this massive solar build-out, it won't be easy. There are real
Oh,
hurdles.
for sure. Big ones.
Things like just making enough electrical transformers. That seems mundane, but critical.
Absolutely critical. Transformer production is a known bottleneck already. Then there's land acquisition. You need vast areas for these huge solar farms.
And permitting. Getting approval for these massive projects, that can take years.
Yeah, permitting is always complex. It feels like a monumental task, no doubt.
So, is it actually realistic? Can these hurdles be overcome?
Well, the source is actually pretty optimistic here, drawing historical parallels. They mention World War II shipbuilding, for instance.
Okay.
The point being, when the stakes were incredibly high, the U.S. managed to overcome seemingly impossible manufacturing bottlenecks and ramp up production at an unbelievable speed.
Right, the Liberty ships.
Exactly. And maybe a more recent example, look how quickly the semiconductor industry scaled up production of advanced AI chips when demand just exploded.
That's true. The H100s and things like that.
Right. It shows that kind of all hands on deck effort is possible. The historical lesson seems to be when the motivation, the demand, and the economic incentives truly align, these bottlenecks often get smashed through.
Fascinating. Okay, so let's try and recap what we've covered. It seems pretty clear the AI industry's just enormous energy appetite is forcing a shift.
A massive shift, yeah. And it's pushing solar into the dominant position.
Driven primarily by solar's unique scalability, that learning curve, the plummeting costs.
Exactly. And this whole transition is happening inside this really critical geopolitical contest. You've got China's huge manufacturing lead on one side.
And the U.S.'s strategic advantages, geography, capital, existing resources on the other.
It's a dynamic situation, definitely.
Okay, so here's a final thought to leave you with, something to ponder. If this energy race truly matters as much as the chip race for the future of AI,
Which the source argues it does.
and if solar's accelerating dominance really favors whoever can scale it fastest, what kind of unexpected shifts could we see?
Right, shifts in global power dynamics, maybe.
Or in industrial landscapes? What changes over the next decade as AI's, insatiable energy demand fundamentally reshapes how we power everything?
It's a huge question. Definitely something to keep thinking about.